Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It is the beginning of a new week, which means we are going to look back at the week we had over on Reddit. We're going to see what everyone's chatting about over there and been chatting about over there. I really like doing this style of video. This is the second iteration of it, so please let me know if you're kind of rocking with it and how you're feeling, and give me your 2 cents on what we're talking about today. I haven't looked at these posts yet, so this is all going to be new to me. Before we get started, please make sure you subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment like I just said, and I don't know, what's our new goal? 10K by end of February. How about that? 10K by the end of February. That seems like a stretch. That seems like a real stretch. Well, that's the goal. All right, first post we have here is pretty straightforward. Nothing controversial, no sort of hot takes or whatever. It just says, tonight, this is from 6 days ago, tonight is truly an end of an era. Last Raw on cable TV, Netflix next week. But kind of thinking about this in modern terms, this is probably coming out Monday. So Raw on Netflix tonight. It is pretty crazy. I mean, 32 years on cable television, and then we talk about this at nauseum on the podcast. We'll probably talk about it, when Raw on Netflix actually happens, but it really goes to show how groundbreaking and culturally infused wrestling is, and WWE specifically is. I mean, 32-year run, and now they're like the first full sports iteration entertainment thing to make the full jump over to streaming. Obviously SmackDown, and you know what I mean, like the show. And I think that's going to set a precedence for the next, I mean, the contract they have with Netflix is 10 years. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing, I don't know, I mean, UFC stuff under Endeavor, NFL, NBA, like we talked about on the podcast, that they're both kind of like, they've been dabbling on like Amazon Prime and Hulu and like whatever. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's not like, I don't know, it's sentimental and it's not. On the one hand, it's like, wow, and in an era I've been watching Raw on TV forever. But on the other hand, it's like, who gives a shit? It's like the same, it's gonna be the same thing. But yeah, it's wild. No more. It's just a different app. It's just a different app. Okay, nothing's real anymore. Okay, next one. Damn, this Barney guy. I think we saw a lot of posts from this Barney guy. He really goes off in this subreddit. I saw his picture floating around on Twitter. What a picture. My God, name this faction. This picture with Otis, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, and LA Knight. This is cool. It is kind of like the new, I mean, LA Knight is LA Knight's not the same age as like Punk and Ray, I don't think. I'm not going to Google it. Otis, definitely the younger of the three. LA Knight kind of playing in that middle role, but it's cool. It's kind of like the veterans of Punk and Ray, kind of like, here's the new guys. Here's the new hot shots. Name this faction though. All right, okay, I got it. Team San Diego, Chicago, LA, Wisconsin? I don't know. I didn't have anything funny. Next one, my 6-year-old's WWE collection. Goated parent. This is sick. Wow. I mean, also, first of all, look at that fire. We know who can afford these action figures. Look at that fireplace in the background. Hell yeah. Oh, there's more than one picture here. Oh, it's just a different angle. I like that they needed to get the fish tank in the fucking picture. Cool. Is that a WCW Rey Mysterio? I can't really zoom in. I'll zoom in post. That's sick. Yeah, these are really cool. I kind of got lucky as a kid where like my parents couldn't really afford all these new action figures and whatever, and I'd like save up whatever money I'd get from like mowing the lawn or like, I don't know, selling stuff at the family yard sale to like buy new action figures or video games or whatever. So like I'd have like a couple that I wanted, but I wasn't kind of getting like, a lump sum of all these new figures. And then one day it was either like a family friend or someone that knew my mom, just like whatever, their kid just got too old or wasn't like into wrestling anymore and just like had a container of a bunch of their action figures, and it was all like, I would say like 2003 to like maybe even earlier, maybe like 2000, maybe 1999 to like 2007, 8, and just like a bat of them. There was like a Teddy Long figure, there was a couple Rays, there was some Ortons, John Cena with some jorts that like down to his ankle. Point being, all the action figures, the majority half from it came from that like lucky swoop. So like other than that, I would have had like maybe a handful, and I was absolutely happy with that. But I kind of lucked out and just got that. I think that's to say for like a lot of people is like they'll find figures at yard sales or thrift stores or whatever, and that's kind of how like the collection comes up, because this is, if you're buying all these new, they can get expensive. You know what I mean? Regardless, though, I'm sure the parents worked hard for this, and it's really cool that they're able to give their kid this. Obviously, maybe some Christmas presents in here. We see the Christmas tree in the background. This is cool. This is the type of parent I want to be. I want to be in a position where I can just give my kid a shit ton of wrestling action figures, whether they like wrestling or not. If they grow up and they're this age and they're like, no, Dad, I like hockey. And I'm like, you're going to play with a vintage Sheamus action figure. Having the ring is always like a really huge upgrade. I got a ring, again, I think maybe like yard sale or thrift store find by my parents. And it was like a really old Raw, and like you put the batteries in it, and like if you hit the mat, like Jim Ross and JR go like, by God, or like, something crazy. They had like 7 things they'd rotate through. I turned off the commentary after a while because it was just 7 sayings after a while, and you hit the mat, and there's only so many times you can hear Jim Ross go, it's a slobber knocker, while I had like a Shawn Michaels beating up a Funaki action figure. There's an array here. I see a Jack Perry, some Shield members. I see an AJ, old Ray. There's an Alexa there. Some people in the back I can't really see. It looks like a Bray, a Hogan, a couple Sheamuses. This is cool. Great collection. Let's look at the comments. I haven't looked at the comments at all. I'm kind of going back in time. We're not going to look at the comments for the Raw one, but I do want to see if anyone came up with any good names for that faction. Pork, Punk, Otis, Ray, Knight. That's a solid one. Confusion. It's going to be like it's like Evolution, except nobody knows what's happening. That's a good one. Average male friend group. Also true. 3.5 men. All right. Off. All right, back to the kids' toys. That's not your kids' collection. It's your collection that he can play with. Understandable. Yeah, that's I guess like my story time and like me even relating as like, I hope I'm that parent. That's like more so what it's gonna be. It's gonna be my wrestling collection that like hopefully when I have a kid, I'm living off buku bucks and I can just have all the action figures I want and then my kid can play with them. Living vicariously through your children. Yup. the response is, I was never a wrestling fan until I took interest in my children's passions. Why'd they write that so weird? All right, we'll get out of this rabbit hole. Either way, they have an announce table too. That's sick. Goated parent, goated kid, goated collection. This is cool. Oh, also, I'll probably do it and I'll probably cut the kid's face out. If you're putting your kid on the internet or on Reddit or whatever, blur the kid's face out. You don't need your kid's face like on blast on the internet for 1,000 people to see. I don't know. It's just like, I probably shouldn't do that. All right, anyway. This is from a few days ago. It's a screenshot of a WrestleOps tweet, which is just what the internet is, just screenshots of different websites posted on other websites. Alicia Taylor will be shifting to announcing on Raw, and Lillian Garcia will be shifting to SmackDown this Friday. Cool. It's been nice to have Lillian Garcia back. It really, you get a nostalgia feeling hearing her announce. I will say, Lillian, you don't need to do the Chelsea Green thing. I'm sorry. Others have just done it better, and we're used to that. And you don't, it's fine. But you don't nail it. And you don't need to do it. It was a special thing, and it can be lost in the past. It's lost media at this point. But anyway, Lillian Garcia is great. Alicia Taylor, the few times I think she's maybe done announcing or something. I don't know. Either way, kind of the new face or the newer face of announcing, but I'm excited for her to be on Raw. And obviously, if they're putting her on Raw on Netflix, they have faith in her and they know she can do what she can do. So cool. Can we please keep this version of Seth Rollins? Yes, that's what I've been saying. I love this Seth. I've definitely been the one saying like, I like his over the top, like crazy dressing, whatever. I think there's a balance, and I think we found that balance, and they need to just stick with it, whether it's in like a blood feud or not. 'Cause that's kind of the reason when he gets all serious is when it's like a serious moment. But you can have like the over the top, like, 80s kind of crazy dressing and being serious. And this is what we need. We don't need Seth dancing around going, in like a crazy fucking Lady Gaga thing. Have him in like a slightly toned down version of that, which is like a crazy cool colored suit or like some crazy streetwear pants, but then still have him be serious and talk his shit. And you can have a real balance of two. And it's the best parts of Seth over the past, 6-7 years, and combine them into one like perfect 2025 Seth Rollins is, I think, exactly where they need to go. This comment says, if him, Drew, and KO somehow became some team and called themselves the Sword, I'ma laugh, but I'ma love it. That'd be cool. Maybe the Sword could be the name for the other 4 people, whatever. This comment says, what we all need to remember is that the serious version of Rollins only works so well because it's in sharp contrast to his usual persona. So I think it's not about being serious all the time, but about busting up the seriousness when the occasion calls for it. That's a good point. It's a little bit what I'm saying, but I guess you do have to, I guess my point was like take away all the silliness all together, but there is a good point there where it's like you get the silliness and the ha 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 and the goofiness, and then it makes it all the more jarring in a good way when he gets serious. It's like, oh, he's not dancing around. He's still in that crazy colored outfit, but now he's talking his shit. And it's a little more, I guess jarring is a good word. So that's a good point. I think maybe just, I think there's a balance. I think maybe you can tone it down a little bit and have like way more badass Seth. He doesn't need to be like serious, I'm going to kill you every single promo, but I think there's a balance. With that said, though, I do like when Seth has fun. So I don't know. Maybe I'm changing my mind as we're talking about it, and I kind of agree more so with that because I like when Seth is not that serious and having fun. And then, like this person said, and like I'm kind of coming to, is it makes it all the more impactful when he gets serious, and it's like, oh, that's redesign, rebuild, reclaim Seth coming out. Oh shit, you know. This next post is, what do you expect from John Cena's retirement tour? I'm more so curious on the comments on this. I kind of talked about it a little bit on my Raw on Netflix video. We talked about it on the podcast a lot, so I'm curious to see what other people have to say. Give the man the 17. He's a much better role model than Flair, and he carried the business for almost 2 decades. I say that not liking him his entire career. Yeah, that's my sentiment. I won't go in circles, but I think he absolutely deserves, should, needs to be the 17-time world champion, beat Flair, be the number 1 guy. They're touting him as that anyway. This would be the last little push of, oh, you mean it. Oh, he is the GOAT. Oh, he is the guy that's going to be in the history books forever, you know? As number 1. I mean, obviously he's in the history books for other reasons, but like the number 1 world title guy. Probably the most emotional send-off for a star yet. Yeah, and I don't think Cena's going to come back. It's the reason he's doing a full-time, year-long run. It's the reason this has been hyped up so much, and just knowing who John is and just seeing, you know, videos and hearing him talk, he seems like very much a guy, and maybe he's even alluded to this or said something like this on the record, but I would expect him to finish this out, get the 17 or get the IC title, win monumental matches, have monumental feuds, whatever, and this is the reason for it. It's the send-off, it's the closing of the book, and I really don't think we'll ever see Cena step foot in WWE ring again. Or we'll see him go to AEW. I don't know. I'm expecting excellent storytelling of a man that was once unbeatable, struggling to keep up against young stars. Ooh, I like that. He hasn't won a singles match in years. The story can lead to him finding his confidence back, finding that big match John inside of him one more time to win the 17-time world title. That'd be great. They've already kind of started playing on that with like some promos he's done when he's teasing his return, and like whatever. And, you know, he said, I haven't won a match in, you know, however long. I'm not that guy anymore. So I think that would be a really interesting arc. He's not wrestling on Raw and Netflix, but whatever his big first matches, maybe have him lose it. And that's a big shocking loss, and that starts you off on this trajectory. So our comment says, I want one segment when Cena goes Doctor of Thugonomics on the roster. I think if we're doing the retirement tour, you got to get all of the monumental crazy parts of Cena, and you can't leave out Doctor of Thugonomics. All right, there's a picture of Dom, and the question is just facial hair or no? Picture of him with a mustache. No, I mean, come on. Are we joking? Are we kidding? Come on. The mustache is sick. The mustache is so good. 100% facial hair. The majestic mustache must stay. All right, we're all on the same page. The mustache and the mullet is just like perfect. All right, last one we'll look at here. This is Please Help Me Understand in reference to, remember that Goldberg and Gunther segment we had at Bad Blood? I definitely can't be the one to help you understand. I'm not going to read your long-ass post, but I'm going to read some of the comments, see if anyone can understand. This says, I would rather see Gunther go on Hot Ones, refuse to eat, and have Kaiser eat for him while answering questions and not letting Kaiser have any water. What? This match will be shit, and Goldberg is dangerous and also shit. Bret Hart, probably. Yeah, I don't think no one's really given like an actual, like, here's why, you know, ever since they decided to book Goldberg squash Bray, I have zero interest. All right, no one's really answering the question. I don't know. Goldberg was probably in town. Maybe there was a thought of doing a match in the near future. Seems like things might have got scrubbed. I don't know. I'm not too interested in seeing. I'm interested only if Gunther squashes him. And that's like maybe one of the final things for Gunther to really get his confidence back. I don't want Goldberg to really get any offense, or maybe get offense in the beginning, hit him with a jackhammer or something. It's like, oh no. And Gunther pops up, kills him. I think that's the only acceptable way you can have a Gunther versus Goldberg in 2025. But I don't know if Goldberg's the guy that's going to put over young talent and bury himself. I don't see that happening. All right, I think that's where we're going to call it today. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you like the weekly Reddit looks back on the weeks or whatever. They're fun. They're interesting. I like seeing people's takes and some crazy posts and silly stuff. But let me know what you thought of some of the different discussion points we talked about today. Please make sure you subscribe. Please leave a like. Please leave a comment. 10K by the end of February. And that's it. Have a good rest of your day. Check out the Stash Club video dropping today. There's definitely a quiz dropping today, so go check that out. I think this is coming out first. And yeah, and then check out the podcast on Tuesday. Cool. Fun week. Also, I might regret leaving this part in. Am I streaming Raw on Netflix, on Twitch, and on YouTube? I don't know. If you made it this far, I don't know. Maybe. If we see the hype in the I don't know. All right, bye. Okay, bye.